Cursed Mask. The bright summer sun cast its light upon a wooded area just outside of a rundown town. From a distance, the woods appeared serene and peaceful, but the locals who lived nearby knew of its curse for generations. The air was always cold, and the trees were tainted, almost black in color, with the claw marks of a monster that resided within. She slowly wandered through the woods, trailing her claws over the trees as she passed them. On the branches above, countless ravens watched their mistress intently. Her head hung slightly from the weight of the mask she wore for so many years. She should feel an ache in her neck, but it is no longer possible for the Raven Witch to feel anything. Her heart had stilled ages ago. Her chest never moved, for she could not breathe, and her body had gone numb to the outside world. She walked in the corpse of a woman, yet she could not move on. The Raven Witch came upon an all too familiar sight, an old wooden cabin that stood for as long as she had. Its exterior had become so worn down, even she was surprised it managed to stay sound for so long. The interior was not in good shape either, being covered in feathers and claw marks, but it was one of the few things she had. Upon entering the old cabin, some of her ravens fluttering in ahead of her, the Raven Witch caught a glimpse of a dusty mirror covered by an old set of ripped clothes. She approached the mirror, and the worn fabric flew off of its surface. Dust scattered everywhere, but its irritating effects did not bother her. She stared at her reflection for a long moment. Her clouded gray eyes wandered down from the mask fused into her face to her neck. Just above the silver heart necklace she wore was a large open wound, a slit across her neck. The gruesome mark never healed, as her body could no longer do so properly. When she looked back up, a completely different, yet familiar reflection greeted her. It was the face of a young maiden she knew very well. The reflection looked back at her and smiled. She remembered.